is the one thing you think financial planners should know, but don't?
Ah, that's a great question that I love to hear because it allows me to share a piece of advice that I got from a mentor in business school. That while similar to the advice out there to take ownership in what you do, is not the same. So taking ownership is a great piece of advice. And as you'd imagine from someone who has an employee ownership advocacy background, I'm a big believer in ownership. But the advice that I would give to advisors is to actually think like an owner. And when you think like an owner, think like the person sitting across the table from you, the benefit of that is that it allows you to tackle problems kind of sequentially in the way that a business owner's mind might work, or in the way that your clients might think. It allows you to anticipate things in a way that you can't necessarily do when you're thinking when you're not taking ownership in your thought process. And that is really the secret, I think, to an awful lot of success in the world. If you put yourself in the position of the person who's got the problem, not just as a fiduciary, but as that person who's got that problem, you start to turn over ideas in a sequential manner that is, I think, different fundamentally than as an advice giver sitting across the table, arms folded across your chest. And what that allows you to do in the eyes of that client, right? You're thinking like that client, thinking like the owner of the assets you're managing, is that it allows you then to anticipate challenges and anticipate a wider range of challenges, anticipate, for example, the types of advisors the client needs. So if you think like an owner, then you'll start looking for advisors who also think like an owner, advisors who are more entrepreneurial. And that will generate a much higher quality level of advice that the client receives ultimately, because people are in the position of having to think as though it were their wealth that's being invested or their business that's being sold. I think that's just an enormous, it's benefited me enormously to have that advice because it's allowed me to think differently.